Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a magical story for kids. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a young princess named Snow White. She had soft white skin, rosy cheeks, and the most beautiful black hair you could ever imagine. But Snow White was very sad because her mother had passed away, and she only had her father, the king, left to live with. One day, the king met a new woman, and soon Snow White had a new stepmother, a beautiful queen. The queen was very proud of her beauty and loved to look at herself in her magical mirror. Every day, she would ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would always reply, "You, my queen, are the fairest in the land." But as Snow White grew older, she became more and more beautiful. People all over the kingdom admired her kind heart, her singing, and how she helped others. The queen didn't like it at all. She was jealous and angry. "Who is more beautiful than me?" she demanded from her mirror one day. To her surprise, the mirror replied, "Snow White is the fairest now." The queen was furious and made a terrible plan. She told a hunter to take Snow White into the forest and harm her. But the kind-hearted hunter couldn't do it. Instead, he let Snow White go, warning her never to return to the castle. Snow White ran through the dark forest, lost and scared. Just when she thought she couldn't go any further, she spotted a little house in the woods. She knocked on the door, and to her surprise, it opened, revealing a cozy home filled with tiny furniture. There were 7 plates, 7 spoons, and 7 beds. Everything was just the right size for little dwarfs. Snow White was tired and hungry, so she ate some food and lay down on one of the beds to rest. She fell fast asleep, unaware that the 7 dwarfs who lived there were on their way home. When the dwarfs returned, they were shocked to find Snow White sleeping in their house. They were kind to her, and when she woke up, they introduced themselves. "We are the 7 dwarfs," they said. "You can stay with us, but you must promise to be safe. The evil queen must not know you're alive." Snow White spent her days happily with the dwarfs, cleaning their home and cooking meals for them. But the evil queen still wanted to harm Snow White. She disguised herself as an old woman and tricked Snow White into taking a poison comb and then an apple. Each time, the dwarfs rushed home to find her unconscious, but with each time, they saved her. The queen's evil magic couldn't last forever, and one day, a prince passed through the forest. He saw Snow White in her glass coffin, surrounded by animals and the sad dwarfs. The prince kissed Snow White, and to everyone's amazement, she woke up. The prince asked her to marry him, and of course, Snow White said yes. The evil queen, when she heard the news, was so angry she ran away and was never seen again. Snow White and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after. And so, Snow White found true love in a new family with the kind-hearted dwarfs and the prince. They all lived happily in the beautiful kingdom, where kindness and love always triumphed over evil.